welcome back to my channel. You know what it's like when there's been huge hype and things are really anticipated, and sometimes everybody just like goes with the flow and gets excited about things without really knowing whether or not it's just good marketing or hype or branding, or whether actually these things are worth it. So we've just had landed here in the UK milk makeup, and it's hotly anticipated. I was really keen to discover the brand and drill down and actually see whether it was worth the hype. So here's my take. I went to the launch. The launch party was fantastic. There was a pop-up. It was kind of like a nightclub. Perfect branding. I love the packaging. It's an interesting concept of this kind of stick packaging for a lot of the products. Not all, obviously, not every product is going to fit into this type of packaging. The ethos of the brand is so wonderful. It's paraben free, cruelty free and vegan. So this is what we're wanting right now, and I think consumers are leaning far more to brands that are like this, and trying to actually tease out of brands more transparency with the provenance of their ingredients. It's something that we're really driven by. You know, what we put on our face matters just as much as, you know, what we're choosing to eat. So as a concept and as a brand, I really, you know, it resonates with me, and it gets a thumbs up from me. I'm interested in finding whether the products live up to the hype. I have to say, generally, I was really blown away with the consistency, the coverage, and the playfulness actually of these gorgeous products. I'm going to go with my superhero love it product. Start with that one first. This is called the Flex Concealer, which is perfectly aptly named because it is flexible, it's malleable, it moves with the skin. If you're going to use concealer under the eyes, which is usually where we would want to put it, obviously once you're over 30 you can have some little fine lines. So the more flexible and malleable the product is that you put under the eye, the more youthful it's going to be, and the more actually like skin. Because concealer is primarily, you're going to be using it to hide dark circles and hollows, and you're just wanting to create a lightness and a radiance under the eye, particularly in the corner of the eye as well. So likewise, if you're covering blemishes and spots, if you're covering spots and you have a sort of cakey, dry concealer on the top, the colour match may be perfect, but if that consistency isn't moving with your skin, it's going to look very telltale. So Flex Concealer, this is the light medium. It's a lovely little simple tube applicator, wand, easy to apply, a small sponge applicator, incredibly easy actually to work the product in. It doesn't set too quickly, it's not too runny, and it doesn't cake. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I've been in love with this since I started using it. The range of colours seems to be good, it's not just 2 or 3, yeah, I'm very impressed with that one. Now, what else did I love? Oh my goodness, love this one as well. Kush, which is a sort of, it's a range within a range. The mascara and the brow fibre gel. So the brow fibre gel is a little darling of a product. I always need to define my brows. I tint them, but after even maybe a week, the tint starts to fade, and I still need to sort of actually colour in where I have less hair and less eyebrow hair, so I'm kind of filling in the gaps. So two ways of doing that. Obviously you can do it with a pencil, or you can apply a little bit of product. Now the thing about eyebrow mascaras is they generally can be quite thick. So after you've put the product on, the product is quite damp, it's quite wet, and when it sets it can be hard and actually quite sort of almost like cracking. This is not like that. This has this wonderful, flexible, malleable consistency, so the brows do gain some fibre and some volume and obviously some pigment without that cakey consistency and that dried crispiness which some eyebrow mascaras can give. Tiny little brush, which is perfect, because obviously if the brushes are really big, you're left with another overload of product that you just need to wipe away. So a very small brush, but perfect for being precise and getting the product in where you need it. The shade that I've got is called Haze, H-A-Z-E, for a blondie brown. I could easily have gone for the darker colour as well. There's three, and if I wanted a less of a natural look and some deeper pigment, I would quite happily wear that one too. So this one was a winner for me as well. Talking of the Kush range, this is also one that people have been raving about. I was really intrigued to try it. The Kush mascara, I think it's won awards actually, I'll check and I'll link below. What this product has is, as with the brow fibre gel, I believe, is cannabis oil. So whereas a traditional mascara would have beeswax, which gives that malleable consistency to actually move with the lashes, they don't use beeswax, so the cannabis oil is the hemp cannabis oil is the substitute. The brush is great, nice fat pop there. The brush is great size. You get a lovely volume mascara without the clumping and without the dryness. If you like a really natural, silky, individually coated lash, this isn't for you. It's a high volume, mega glam mascara, but that is the trend at the moment, and I've worn this with no other eye makeup other than concealer, and it really does give that kind of va-va-voom lift that we want at the moment, what I want at the moment from mascaras. So this got a thumbs up from me as well. Now let's move on to the sticks. What did I love? Actually, I'll tell you what I didn't love, and that's really just me as opposed to the product. This is called the Blur Stick, and it is primarily a primer, a blurring primer. So as a primer it will definitely give a lovely base for coverage. I found it mattified my skin too much and made it look slightly dull. Being dry skinned myself and obviously being older, I tend to need a radiant primer. I'll also use some oil, pat some oil under my eyes and across the cheekbones and in dry areas before I put product on. So I found this didn't work for me, but would be great for enlarged pores or people who have an oily T-zone or an oilier skin generally. I'm sure it would be great, it's just not ideal for me, so I found it deadened. Likewise the foundation, it is a fairly full coverage. I think it would give a very good made up look, but it's not very natural. I prefer a lighter, more satin based foundation. This is a really bit too much of the matte for me. This consistency doesn't work for me, but the coverage is superb. It's easy to blend in and the colours are good. So if you have a different skin type, I'm sure it's fine. I loved, going back to the sticks, the matte bronzer. So this is matte, which really means there isn't a high gleam or a glitter. It's a lovely colour. I think with bronzers there's got to be some middle ground. You can't have anything too dark if you're going to suit everybody. It's a wonderful bronzer. I'll show you. So easy to apply. Of course, this stick formula. It's creamy. You do get, it's easy to work in the product. I mean, this stick is just great. It reminds me of some of the makeups that my mum used to use back in the 70s. Just like blend up easy stick. Lovely ability to just rub in. I think that would be just super easy to use here, and a little bit obviously under the chin and here. I'm not a great bronzer user in the winter months. I used it in very sparingly and it looked fantastic. The other one which I do think complements the bronzer beautifully is the highlighter. Again, you've got this lovely stick and it's a sort of peachy gold colour. It's not particularly pink, it's not particularly white. Lovely consistency, little here, a little here. For the sort of person who puts it down the middle of the nose, then great too. Easy, just easy to apply. Just work in with the fingers. I always do find actually that I tend to stay away from brushes. I do like sponges sometimes actually for getting concealer into, you know, nooks and crannies, but generally just warming a product with your fingers and tapping in is one of the easiest ways of controlling where it's going to go and feeling the product and seeing the way it just blends in with your skin. So it's a simple packaging, it's foolproof, fantastic, less faff, less bother. Back to the stick formula, one of the skincare products is this watermelon brightening serum. Has watermelon, has some vitamins C and D, I think. I'll check. Smells wonderful. Obviously so easy to apply with this beautiful pink stick. Easy to differentiate. No pump action, no bottles, no lids. Straight onto the face. Obviously rub it in. I have to say I haven't used this for long enough to know whether it's making a significant difference to my skin. I've used it, I've trialed it, I like the smell, I like the freshness, I love the way it's easy to apply. I have looked fully at the list of ingredients and it's jam-packed with all the right kind of things that will be radiance boosting and will be brightening and helping the skin. So there were a few other products which I didn't actually get a chance to try, but I will and I'll report back. The eyeshadows looked really appealing, incredible pigments, really fun, bright colours. The eyeliners looked good too, I haven't tried those, they looked really impressive. There are a lot more serums in this formulation, in this packaging, that look quite exciting and appealing. So generally I am really impressed with this brand. I think it's going to do really well. I'd love to know which products you've tried, if you've tried any of the ones that I've just reviewed and whether you like them or not. I'd also love your feedback on some others that I've not yet tried and what you think. So is it worth the hype? Absolutely. Thumbs up from me. I really, really love it. Do let me know any more comments or anything else that you'd like to see, any other content you'd like to see, and please subscribe if you don't already, and leave your comments below. As always, I'll get back to you. Always interested in feedback.